I created me an escape route. I'm 46 years old. A couple years ago, my life hit rock bottom from a 12-year job. No promotions, no regular schedules. I was bottomed out. So that means that I either had to move positions to get a higher pay, and those positions was always filled because they was always getting somebody that's inexperienced from the streets instead of promoting within. After I almost died a few times, this job is very dangerous and you can lose your life at this job about to explain. And I quit that job and started what I like to do, my craft. I like to do landscaping, so I started a landscaping company. But when landscaping is slow, I still wanted a residual income, so I created an online business through affiliate marketing and selling cryptocurrency to people that wants to get into it. I'm selling affiliate links of how to get into it. So if you want this life-changing event to where you can have recurring revenue coming in while you're trying to figure out your craft, then like and subscribe, hit the notification bell because this video is for you. Let's get into it. So of course, I was 42 years old and I said it. I finally said enough is enough. And of course, I'm married. I got a family. I got a mortgage. I got bills just like you. I'm a regular person just like you. I had a 401k plan. I had to build up for retirement. I had to do the same thing you did at a 9 to 5. I had health benefits. But for me, as a CDL concrete driver, we didn't have no set schedule. We didn't have no set hours. Some days you'll go in at 3 in the morning. It depends on, in the summertime, of course, concrete gets hot. So that means you have to deliver early. And some days you'll go in at 8 in the morning. And some days you'll go in at 12 midnight and don't get off until 2 p.m. the next or that following morning into afternoon. It was a crazy shift. And you was always eating bad food, bad health. And I almost died on this. And I'm going to get to the point where first I'm going to start off with where I almost died. As a concrete driver, you got to be careful how you turn. You cannot have no fatigue in you, none. So since our schedule was crazy, I didn't have no family time. I would come home angry and I will go eat and go to sleep. That was unhealthy right there. I went to sleep angry, which I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to leave everything in the driveway when I go into my house, but I didn't do none of that. I took it in my house because I needed to vent to somebody, and my wife was the one that was taking it. She was a strong woman that took all that. I had to vent to her. And some of y'all don't have loved ones. You're going to have to vent to somebody because if not, it will get bad if you don't vent or get it out. It will explode and then you can say something wrong to somebody or hurt somebody. But y'all already know that. So I had to vent and she was taking it in and I told her, I said, God told me this is my last year. And then she's like, well, what are you going to do? And I told her, I said, I want to do what I want. I want to do something that's going to make me happy, come home happy, and then provide for my family. And then she's like, well, let's pray about it. Of course, we prayed about it. And then she said, let's see what's your goal? What do you want to do? I said, well, I'm good at environmental stuff. I want to create a home service business, a blue collar business or something. And she was like, you is good at landscaping. I said, I am, and tree work. So I ended up saying, that'll be it. I'll do that. And it was confirmed from the man above. I wouldn't say the man above, from the creator above. It was confirmed through him. And I said, okay, cool. And people were telling me, and I even went to my closest, like people that I know of, like associates, my wife's friends. And I said, hey, I do landscaping. Y'all need this and this. Oh yeah, come on over. I got plenty of work. And that's when the word of mouth started traveling for me. And then my first season, I said, man, I got to bring some more income. What I'm going to do. And then my friend said, hey, you need to get on YouTube. He said, because YouTube can be very profitable for you. And I said, okay. And so my first 100 videos, nothing. First 300 videos, nothing. And I'm like, man, he's lying to me about YouTube. And next thing you know, I start getting people engaging into my videos. I've been on YouTube for 4 years. First, I did like news, like end times news. That wasn't an act. And I did, some spiritual inspiration on here. And now I'm talking about my life because it seemed like this is what's resonating with the crowd, which is how did you become a full-time entrepreneur? How did you leave your 9 to 5 after 12 years? And I left after 12 years. So back to what I was saying, let's get into the meat of this. I went back to my job and, I didn't get much sleep that day, which is a lot of days I don't get sleep. And so I'm driving the mixer and then I when I dozed off, I corrected myself. And they said when you correct, you don't supposed to correct yourself. If you're going off road, you're supposed to go that way. And so I corrected myself and I kind of slid into a ditch a little bit and then it linked over. I was scared. I was like, oh my God. Because as you see, pull it up, they are very easily to turn over because you got that drum rotating with the concrete in it. And you're sitting there doing this back and forth, back and forth. And if you turn that way and you go too fast, you will have a rollover. And so when I went into that ditch, I had to have somebody come help me to get out. Another mechanic or somebody that has a big truck to come get me out because I almost had a rollover. And I was sitting there. I hopped out of the truck, heart beating fast. I called my wife. I called everybody. I called my wife. I showed pictures of my wife. She was scared for me, and she said, "I'm scared. I almost lost my husband." She said, "You need to come home." And and then, I mean, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny at the time. The reason why it's funny now is because she said, "You need to come home." And I said, "I need to come home." Exactly. You're correct. Exactly. I need to come home because I can't register this. So they gave me a couple of days off and, of course, no pay. They didn't give me no pay. You think they're going to give me pay for almost messing up their equipment, which I didn't have much sleep? So I had bad health. Every time I go eat, when I did I did go home on a decent time, my wife was able to make food. And sometimes when she make me food and I come home so late, my food be in the microwave, which is unhealthy for me as well. So overall, my health was declining. And then when I almost died again in that truck, but this time it wasn't my fault. It was another mixer that said he lost his brakes and he hit the back of me and my mixer turned sideways and his rolled over. After he hit me, he went into the ditch and he rolled over and I slid sideways. So I was like, man, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna sacrifice my life just to make $21, $20 an hour. I'm not doing that. I could do something better with my life. And that was the final straw. So I had to set myself up. I said, man, what I'm going to do. So I started thinking and I started looking into investing more. I said, okay, what's my out? What's my escape route? And I said, well, I'll just open up me a high yield savings account because the banks, they're not for you guys. When you put your money in the bank, they use that money to invest in others. I'm not going to say no bank's names, but I'm going to say what I did. So YouTube won't flag me or whatever. So anyway, I said, okay, I'm gonna open up a high yield savings account. And if you want, you can look into my links and my description. You'll find out which one I'm talking about, which is really good. And so I ended up opening up a high yield savings account. I had two banks going. My bank from whenever I get direct deposit from my 9 to 5. And then I have my high yield savings account bank. And I put so much money in there and it's just building every year. And then I end up opening up a IRA outside of my job. So I had to set myself up. And I said, okay, so I opened up an IRA outside of my job. And when I opened up an IRA outside of my job, I started building that up each month. And so I had so much things going on. Me as a working a 9 to 5, it's hard to save. It's impossible to save a lot of money because you're going to always have an issue. A car going to break down, tires, you need to get tires, your engine lock, you're going to have to get a new car. There's always something going on. So what I did was I invested the little money that I had and put it into into these high yield savings account, into this IRA and let that build up. Okay. I kept it going. I let the money work for itself is what I recommend you to do. And so I said, okay, I gave myself a 6-month window. I said, okay, I didn't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody at your job. Do not tell your workers because they will throw you under the bus. They're not your friends. Don't tell your boss yet because he will try to get you fired. Wait until you get ready to leave and then you tell them. When you put your 2 weeks in, then you could tell them. I still wouldn't even tell my coworkers then because they can try to get you fired on you during your 2 weeks. I've seen that happen before in the experience where they got a guy fired. And I was like, hey, what happened to Johnny, man? He's supposed to do his 2 weeks. Oh, he got fired. I was like, what? During his 2 weeks? Yeah, they let him go, man. Somebody threw him under the bus. So that's a no-no. So back to what I was saying. I went to my job and I said, okay, I got all myself set up. My 401k is growing. After I spent money on a business, I took out my 401k, I borrowed from it, and I started a t-shirt business. I made good money first, but it got oversaturated. T-shirt business is oversaturated. So that went downhill real quick. So I ended up making like $15,000 off of it. And I said, wow, okay, what I'm going to do with this 15? And so I went ahead and put it into more investing. I said, man, I'm going to spend this $15,000 if I don't do nothing. So I used like 5 of it and I put it into investing in more high yield savings. And then I also put it more into my IRA. And then I had like 10,000 left and I paid off this truck right here. I didn't want to give them that cash because it was so much. Dude, 10,000, 15,000 cash? That's like $1 million to me. I grew up broke, busted, and disgusted and poor. That's like $1 million to me. 10,000, 15,000 cash. Oh, and I know y'all feel this. That's like $1 million to some of y'all too as well who understand. So I went to the finance company and I said, here go the last money of this truck payment. I didn't want to give it to him. I was holding on to it so hard. And I just closed my eyes and let it go. And I said, give me the title quick. And they gave me the title. I wrote my name on the title and I just got out of there quick because I spent so much money. I never spent that much in one bulk. I never even had that much in one bulk. So I ended up doing that. After a day or two soaking it in, I was happy. I was like, Dad, this is my truck. I was happy. And then my wife was happy. We still had her note. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I still had a boat payment. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do? So I had my 401k and profit sharing from my job. I said, man, I'm going to be debt free. The only thing I want is my mortgage. That's it. I want my mortgage and then, of course, my utilities, my cell phone bills, but I'm going to pay those up for 6 months. So I ended up saying, hey, boss, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. He was like, what? You've been here forever. You're a driver captain. I said, yeah, boss, but God is telling me it's time for me to go. Are you serious? And then he said, and this is how they try to get you. He said, well, what's going on? You want to talk about it? Something personal? Or do you need like is it financial situation that you in? Sickness, health? What's going on? Did you find you another job? You could tell me. I just want to know. I said, well, first let me sign my 2 weeks notice and then I'll talk to you. That's what I had to do because I didn't want him to throw me on the bus. And so he was a good guy. So I ended up signing my 2 week notice first. And then he said, let's talk. What made you decide to pull the plug? You've been here for so long. All you need was, man, you've been here for 12 years. All you need was, 20 more years or even 15 more years. You can possibly retire. Possibly, he said. 15 more years. I don't have 15, 20 more years, 30 more years. I don't have that. And so I was thinking this in my head. I was like, man, I don't have that. I want to make money now on my terms and craft and sell the craft that I know, the talents that I know my worth. So anyway, I told him nice and calm. This is going on in my mind. So I didn't tell him this. I just said, well, I want to do something that I love. And he's like, well, what's that? I said, well, I want to do landscaping. I want to do that. That's my knack. And just start a blue collar business. And he said, oh, they do make good money. He was with me. He was for me. He's like, they do make good money. Well, I respect that. And he said, well, I just want to say this though. What about your health benefits? He tried to use that scare tactics on me. What about your health benefits? What about your health? You won't have health benefits. And I said this to him when he said, what about my health benefits? I said, you know what? I've been at this job for 12 years and thank God, I never had to go to the hospital for any kind of health complications, anything. I might have had a cold here where I took a day off because I was sick under the weather, but I never had to go. So it's irrelevant to me right now. And he said, yeah, but anything can happen from here on out. I said, but nothing ain't going to happen from here on out. I rebuked that. And he started laughing. And he said, well, okay, I understand. I will submit your request to HR. And he said, thank you for working with us. And he said, good luck. And he said, anytime you want to come back, you're welcome to come back anytime you want. And I was like, okay. And he said, well, do you want to go ahead and start this process today, or you want a couple of days to actually sit on it? See, he's trying to sell me. He tried to sell me. I said, no, I want it. I'm putting it in now. I want it now. And he said, okay, I'll send it. Give me 10 minutes and I'll submit it to HR and send it. And so he submitted it to HR and sent it. And I couldn't breathe at first, guys, until I left his office. I was just... And after I closed his door and left out of his office, my stress level went from here to here. After I closed those doors behind me, I started breathing better. I started feeling more rejuvenated, feeling more alive. And I went and hopped back into my job duties, hopped back in my truck, started trucking, started driving. And then a couple days later, I got back in, and then I was like, man, I want to leave faster. So I ended up saying, hey, can I do a vacation next week? And this is how they get you. I said it in a couple of videos. You have to schedule a vacation 6 months in advance. That's how bad these jobs are. And if you don't schedule it, somebody else will take your slot. And you have to wait. Or you could trade out with somebody. I didn't want to trade out with nobody. Why would I want to trade somebody's personal time off for my personal time off? No, they're going to look at me and say, you crazy. So anyway, my supervisor came back to me. He said, so you want to kind of cut it off faster, huh? I said, yeah, can I use my vacation? And he said, sure, you could use that. And he said, if you want, I can even submit it to HR to where you could just do 1 week in your vacation. That's it. And I was like, no, I'm going to do my whole 2 weeks, but I'm going to use a vacation. And he said, let's look up your vacation. He said, you got enough for 10 days because I had so much vacation. And I was like, all right, let's use it, which I was supposed to have 14 days, 2 weeks. And so I ended up using those vacations because I played them. I didn't want to be like wrongfully terminated or something bad happens and they try to get rid of me during my 2 weeks. So I played it smart. I took my vacation time. And then I came back, took off my hard hat, my shirt, my vest, shook my hands. I even bought them some food, pizza. I brought them lunch and breakfast. And they was like, you don't have to do this. I was like, no, they ain't going to celebrate you. So I had to celebrate myself. I'm leaving. No, this is a celebration. I'm happy. And then they said, well, where you going? And you got a couple coworkers that are haters. Oh, you be back. They always come back. Because it's a trend. It's a trend where a person will leave their 9 to 5 and they'll go back to that in our community, in our area, because jobs are not paying as good as the jobs that I was at. So they end up coming back after they run out of money, after they run out of profit sharing or 401k is done. They coming back, and they come back worse than when they left the first or came the first time. And so I said, no, I'm not coming back. Well, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm doing a home service business that I'm good at. And then I'm going to just craft that and just keep growing up. Oh, really? Oh, okay. And this is one of the assistant manager was asking me. He was like, okay to ask me. And he's like, well, good luck to you. And then it was like, so when the news went out to the coworkers, he said, oh, man, You leaving us? Oh man, you been here for a while. One coworker said, man, all you had to do was, you've been here for 12 years. You could have did what, 10 more years, 15, and could retire? And I was like, I didn't even want to hear none of that. I was like, man, no, I might not even live to be 65. No. So I didn't want to hear none of that. I let it one go, one ear out the other. So, and one guy was, oh, they be back. They always come back. When they profit sharing and they 401k diminished and they down to $0, they always come back. Remember what happened to Todd? He came back twice. Remember what happened to Johnny? He left after his 5 years, because after 5 years, they let you release your profit sharing to 100%. And then your 401k, all that. And so he came back, and I was like, well, I'm not coming back. I'm not. This is my last day. I'll see you later. Eat your food that I bought you. I'm gone. And so I end up putting in all my stuff. The bosses came. They shook my hand. They said, thank you for working for us. You're welcome to come back anytime you want. And so I ended up saying, okay, I'm done. After I went home, I actually went home with peace in my mind, peace in my heart. I actually went home happy, so relieved. So my stress level was gone. And when I got in my driveway, I was so happy. I went in there and my wife's like, oh, you kind of happy? Are you okay? Your last day, how did it go? I said, it went so good. I'm so happy. I was jumping up and down. Yeah, I left. Yay. I was like, I was so relieved after I left. I was so happy. And then my wife, she's really smart. She's like, well, what's next? Because, we still have mortgage. And I said, well, this is what I'm going to do. My 401k, my profit sharing, I put them in high yield savings account. I open up an IRA, health benefits. I open up an outside source to where I can pay for my own health benefits. I pay like $200 a month now for health benefits. So I did that for me and my family. And so I said, okay, well, first thing I got to do is pay off your car, which is our car. I paid off right here. I paid off the SUV right there. And then I paid off, as you can see, I'm going to turn it around. You can see my boat. So as you can see, I paid off my boat, all cash. I paid it all off. And I paid up my bills, my cell phone bill right here. I paid that up for 6 months. I paid up all my utilities for 6 months. I paid up my mortgage for 6 months. Doing all that, I still had I think I still had like 15, 20,000 left. So I bought me some landscaping equipment. I opened up an LLC. I was spending money that I didn't even think that was impossible to have. I didn't think I would have all that. I think I had up to 90,000 all profit sharing and 401k together, because 401k sucked. I didn't have that much in there. After 12 years, I would have been working since I'm about to croak. But anyway, I ended up paying off everything. Besides my mortgage, I paid it up for 6 months in my utilities. And I opened up an LLC. I opened up a business bank account. And then I got me some business insurance. Those are 3 things I did. And then I started knocking on doors. I went to Vista. I bought me some business cards. And I started knocking on doors. Cold calling, cold knocking. And I started looking. What I did was, to make it to where I was landing the jobs, I'll look around their house. I don't walk and be snooping, but I'll drive my car past their house and I said, oh, Miss Jones, she a couple of houses from me, she's got a tree hanging. I can get that from off her. I can fix that for $80 or something like that. And then I can do clear fence line. I was just finding jobs that I was finding problems. And I was selling them to the customer. I said, hey, Miss Jones, you got a tree hanging. I took a picture of it. You got a tree hanging on I can't think right now, your roof. And I can get that off. If not, it's going to rot your roof out. And the roof is 30,000 plus. You don't want to have to buy. Oh, baby, go ahead and do it. $80. That's it. Yeah. And it only took me 30 minutes. And then she's like, I said, Miss Jones, I even haul it off for you. Oh, okay. Since you did that for me, baby, can you come around my house? I got some more work I want you to give me an estimate on. Boom, more work. And then I ended up clearing her fence line I ended up making just in that one day. And then her neighbors had the same vines going across the fence that need to be cleared. She said, I know my neighbor. I'm going to talk to her and have her, you can do hers. So in that whole 2 days, I think I made like it was like 300 something dollars, almost 400, because I did some other jobs around the neighborhood versus me getting paid every 2 weeks, $1,200 minus your health, minus your 401k, minus your benefits, minus your, at that time, child support. So I ended up making that in was it 2 days? It was 2 days. It was the next day. I did a day and a half. So I did roughly 14 hours and made almost that much. I was blown away. I came home happy. I actually went in my driveway happy. I went in my Oh man, it's so good. My wife said, you came in happy. How did your first getting jobs go in landscaping? I said, here, babe, I made $400 here. Here go what? 400 that quick? I said, yeah. So imagine I can do that 5 days, 6 days a week. So I started off with working 6 to 7 days a week. I'll leave church and go to work because I loved it. I loved it so much to where I was working as much time as I was when I was in a 9 to 5 working 12 to 15 hours. I was doing that. But the income I was bringing was 4 times more. I was bringing in thousands. One day I did a cleanup property job that was like, and this is a long time ago when I first started 3 years ago. I did a property cleanup job, was $3,000. I talked to the lady, I said, well, Miss Bessie, it's a lot. I think it'll take me maybe 2 days to do. And she said, well, I got a budget. She said, would $3,000 work? And I was like, what? And I was thinking 1,200, 13, because I didn't know. I was inexperienced in landscaping property cleanups. And I was like, oh, you don't have to do that much. She said, no, I saw your work from Miss Jones. I wanted to give you that. That's my budget. Let's go with that. So I didn't want to bribe her and say, oh, yeah, let's do it. So I just said, you didn't have to. And she did it anyway. So I made $3,000 in 2 days. I was like, oh my gosh. I never made this much at a 9 to 5 in 2 days. Never. So I went back home. My wife, how did it go with your cleanup? I said, look, babe, here go $3,000. We could pay up some more. We could do this. We could do that. So I invested some more into my business. And then I paid my wages. And I was still happy. I was blown away. And so my point is that that's how I started. You got to find what works and you got to utilize it. If you're good at doing hair, if you're good at playing the piano, sell it. If you're good at, I don't know, cleaning shoes, sell it. If you're good at doing tree work, sell it. If you're good at plumbing, sell it. If you're good at teaching, sell it. And that will get you out of your 9 to 5. I had to take that risk. My heart was beating 100 miles an hour when I told my boss I wanted to put in my 2 weeks. It was beating out my chest until I left that room with relief. And ever since then, going on 4 years, I never looked back. Ever. Back to that job. And you know what they do? This is funny. The coworkers that be in the truck, they see my car, they wave at me. Or sometimes I see them at the store getting gas. Oh, hey, Brother Ray, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. How's the business? Good. And I also got an online business as a YouTuber making affiliates. I didn't tell them that, but I said, I'm doing good. I'm making money off the YouTube platform and I'm not even monetized and I'm making money off the platform, which is what I like to do. So I'm bringing in 2 incomes. And so I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And that's what I want to share with you guys. I want to share that with you. You just got to take that risk. You got to set yourself up and watch. Once you set yourself up to leave your 9 to 5, some people is not meant to leave their 9 to 5. Some people like their 9 to 5. I'm not telling everybody to leave their 9 to 5. I'm just saying what I did. And I'm just sharing the experience, what you can do if you want to. Set yourself up, and once you see it working, once you say, okay, I got an IRA for retirement. I got, I opened up a high yield savings account. Okay, I started this affiliate link. I did a YouTube. One of my 5 videos went viral. Now I'm YouTube. Now I'm in a YouTube partner program. I have over 1,000 subscribers. I have over 4,000 watch hours. I'm making money off the shorts. I'm making money off the long form. I'm even doing brand deals. And then I got affiliate links going on through my Amazon, through my other affiliate links and stuff. And then I also do hair and play the piano and sell that part-time. You're good. You're good, guys. And I just want to share this video. I know it's longer than normal, but I just want to share that experience with you guys. And if you want more, put it in the comment section what you do. And put it in the comment section that if you have questions and I can answer them. What do you do? What's your age? Thank you. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to drop another banger tomorrow. God bless.